So, can Prof Sales get back to the 5,000 jean listings on eBay that he talked about last summer? In this show, we're going to find out. Hey, everybody, this is Prof Sales, and welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, we talk about reselling, we talk about being an entrepreneur, we talk about mindset, and lots of other topics as well, and we're glad you're here. So, this show is being done live. So there is a live chat room going at this time. If you'd like to join us, just make sure you see us Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's usually we go on, and we have other shows that happen throughout the week depending on content and circumstances. So hopefully everybody can hear me okay. If you cannot, let me know. Or rather, if you can hear me, let me know. That would be great. And we are off and running on the show. So how's everybody doing here on this Friday? Letting the room fill up for a moment. And we're going to talk about a couple things that came up. We're also going to take questions and answers about really any topic. It'll just be a Friday. We'll answer some viewer mail, mail bag. I need a better name for that. So, but Friday is the day usually we answer viewer questions, where I pick a few questions from the channel or comments and answer or comment on them. So if you'd like to see your question on there, let me know. All right. So as many of you know, hey, there's Karen. Something is missing. She's at the beach, of all places. What's up with that? Here I am stuck here working. But as many of you know, last summer I started a series of videos talking about listing 5,000 jeans on eBay, this quest. And the idea was that by doing so, I could generate quite a bit of income. It'd be a fun challenge to go along with. And one thing led to another. And I decided to at least put that challenge on hold. But I still am committed to the idea of building a big jeans brand store. Now, if you're selling jeans, you're subject to clothing seasonality, just like any other clothing seller. So during the summer, you're likely to see a big slowdown in sales, as I myself have seen, and most jean sellers do. However, there's a tremendous amount of sales volume that can be done in the fall and the winter, and it can make up for a lot of the lack of summer sales. So I don't know where I'm standing on this challenge, to be honest with you. It's been about a year since I started it, I suppose, maybe just over a year. I am not at 5,000. I am just shy of 1,000 because, like I said, I got distracted, went off and, looked at shiny objects, went off in other directions for all kinds of reasons. But I still like the idea of doing it, and I'm contemplating some things around it, and I'd love to get your feedback either in the live chat or as a comment later if you're watching this video afterwards. Some of you know that I went to a tier pricing strategy recently, and basically that looks like I have like a high tier for the higher end jeans source, sort of a middle tier, and then a lower tier. And basically what happens is over the course of 6 months, I drop the price just a penny, and all that does is just show me where it is in that life cycle. And then when it gets to the end of 6 months, I set it at a certain price and just leave it there and making it a good till canceled listing. So I don't have to go in and keep manipulating it and working with it. I don't know how that's going to turn out. I don't know how it's going to play out for, how it'll help sales and so on, or how it will affect sales. I have no idea, but I'm pretty optimistic about it. However, I started thinking about this yesterday when I was out of town, and just, based on what I can get locally. Now, I have a Ben's near me, and they charge $1.39 per pound for clothing. So for an average pair of jeans, I figured out once, that comes out to just over $2. Jeans are a little bit more than a pound on average. They're about 1.4 pounds or something like that on average. Of course, it depends on whether you get men's or women's, but just an average. So my cost on them would be basically $2.05. So this comes into a question about what kind of profit do you want? So let's say I was able to get jeans at $2.05 locally at the bins. And obviously, and I'm talking about, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about bargain basement jeans, and I'm talking about things that do not have a high average selling price. So this would be like your, your lower end brands like Massimo or Lee or something like that even, Faded Glory, all the stuff that's kind of down there on the bottom, but can sell. When I look at that cost and I look at doing free shipping, because I think free shipping is the way to go when you get down on those lower end brands. I could be wrong. I don't really sell enough of them to know 100%, but I feel like if you're going to sell items that do not sell for a lot of money, free shipping is a strong, powerful feature you can offer your buyers. So if I sell them for $15 each and I pay $205 for them, that comes out to, looking at my sales calc, a net profit of $456. I don't think that's really enough profit. Because I look at it this way, guys, like I look at it like you're gonna put $2 worth of your labor into it, or $2 worth of somebody's labor into the listing, sourcing, photographing process, and that's probably being conservative. So that would only leave me with a net profit of $256 on a $15 sale after kind of my labor costs are taken out. And then you still have your tax cost on that. Now, maybe $15 is a little low. If I could source enough $20 items, like items that would sell for $20 with free shipping, then my profit, I'm going to turn up the brightness here so you can see this. Then my profit gets better. Then my profit becomes $897. So I think at $897, that probably makes sense. So here's what I'm considering doing. Now, the analytical side of me always says, you gotta go in and figure this out. I think at $15, if I can go into eBay and kind of figure out a range of brands and types that will sell for $15 with free shipping, and it's enough to justify buying, 100 of those a month, we'll say, just to throw that number out there, which would cost me just over $200 in sourcing cost. And I'm going to net $9 on each one, minus $2 for my labor, which makes a $7 net. That's probably worth it. So maybe I'll go with a fourth tier, and so I can pump out some volume on these jeans, because I don't mind paying up for it if it's going to sell for more. Obviously, I mean, that's kind of common sense, right, guys? But if I want to get up to a higher listing count and just keep moving through volume, it's got to be worth my time. Somebody in the chat, Mark's in there. What's going on, Mark? Haven't talked to you lately. So Mark is selling $7.99 plus shipping. So, and his cost, so let's just do a little quick math. His cost is $1, and his shipping cost is, well, the shipping cost we'll assume is $0. Well, we'll say it's I don't know what he's charging for shipping, padded flat rate. So his cost is $6.30. And let's say he's charging $8 for shipping. I don't know what he's charging, but that would be more than. So yeah, so like in his case, he's making $6.49. Again, doing the math, now he's getting a lower buy price of $1 an item, which is pretty low. But he's still spending $2 worth of labor, I think, any way you look at it. So he's probably netting about $4.49 on each pair before his taxes and so on. If he has no tax liability, then it would just be passed through to him, however he's got his business set up. I don't know. Charging $7.20. All right, Mark, so we'll put in $7.20. That'll drop it even a little more if my calculator's still right. So he's basically netting $5.78 per pair plus his labor costs, so make it about $3.78. And Mark's happy with that price point. I want to get a little better than that. I really don't want to make any less than $5 after my labor cost. So that means I need to sell it for basically $7. I need to net $7 on it, $2 labor, and then And that's kind of where I'm at. And you guys have to kind of figure out your own answer to that. Like, what are you willing to settle for in terms of income? Whether it's jeans or shirts or shoes or whatever you're selling, doesn't really matter. And you can have different tiers of product, because here's what I ran into. Jeans slowed down, and probably some of the lower price point jeans were still moving in the market, but I wasn't in that niche. I was not in that part of the jean market. I was not in the $8, $10, $12 market. So I don't know. It just it killed my sales. So I don't want to run into that again. So I'd like to start, pushing for some of those lower totals. Hey, Katie, how are you doing? That is my niece, by the way, Katie in the chat. So someone says their pre-tax bottom number is $5. Yeah, I kind of agree with that, Anthony. And I think 5 is even a little low for me. I really would like to be at 7, just because, again, I think you have $2 of labor cost in every item, just when you think about your time and your energy that you put into it, to sourcing a listing and photo, storage, packing, shipping. I mean, those are all things that don't really make you money, but you have to do. They cost you time, which is money. Time and money have a relationship there. So I would argue you've got some amount of labor cost in every item you buy. Now, obviously, the more you can, when you buy it, that's why it's better to buy a bunch of things at once than to buy a couple things over a bunch of different trips. You got one trip, you're there for one amount of time. It's going to go faster than if you have to drive back to a place every time. That's going to cost you time, which costs you money. So you want to basically maximize your, minimize the amount of time you're spending sourcing and maximize the profit that you're making for that amount of time. And of course, your cost of goods. So to get back to the topic and to be able to really make enough money on this, or to be able to really, blow these listings up, I think I'm going to have that 4th tier, guys. I think it's going to have to be like and I'm going to do a little research on that. I think it's going to have to be like I don't know, $16 maybe, no shipping charge, flat rate. What's my cost in? I would net like, let's see, if I was buying at $205, then on a $16 sale, I would net $545. So that only makes $345. It's going to have to be a little higher than that. It's going to have to be probably more like 17 or 18 rather. $18 with no $721 would be my net. -2 for labor, $521. That's right where I'm at. So that's where I think I want to move, with kind of pushing up some of these jeans listings. I really want to get up to a higher number by the end of this year. I don't have a good feeling for what I want that number to be yet. I would love to, I guess I would think, just without really thinking about it, 12, 13, 1,400 listings of just jeans. And of course, I'm still expanding my shoe empire, if you will, as well. But I'm still learning that one, and I've got like such a long way to go to become a proficient shoe seller. Yeah, the jean sales will definitely pick up in the fall, Katie. So watch for them, especially like in September. It takes a little bit of time. You need the weather to get a little cooler. But I do have 2 sources of jeans that can get really cheap. I have the $2.05 price of the bins. And I also have the $1 price I can get in Colombia on certain days of the week, but that doesn't have a lot of selection. So that's a little tricky to go down to those. We went to those yesterday. I'm going to show you some things we got. So if you want to see some jeans, stay tuned, because they're coming here in just a few moments. I can't believe I'm about ready to do a haul video. You guys know how I feel about haul videos, but I know people love them. But I wanted to give you just kind of that update on the 5,000 listing challenge. I wouldn't say that it's dead. It just definitely got delayed and pushed back and derailed somewhat, I guess is a better word. So I don't know. I just want to be fully transparent about that and tell you that. So we did go sourcing yesterday. I'll get to that in a second. One other thing I wanted to share with you guys. How many of you guys have heard of Anchor? It's an app. It's an audio app called Anchor. It's a free app. And I just recently heard about this app in the last couple days, and it basically allows you to go on and create your own radio station. So basically what happens is you can go in, you can listen to other people's radio station on it, kind of like listening to podcasts, but Anchor also allows you to record messages and people can hear those messages and tune into your radio station. It also allows listeners to record a question or say a comment, and then you can respond back. So I have recently set up an Anchor radio station, and you can find a link in the description to it. I can't remember it off the top of my head because I just got it. But if you download the app, you can actually also do it on your desktop or laptop. I'm sure on mobile, on tablets as well. And you can find me under Prof Sales. The link is there as well. And subscribe to the radio station. Doesn't cost you anything. There's no ads or anything like that, I don't believe. I don't think it's monetized in any way, honestly. I'm not sure. Maybe there is ads and I just missed them, but they're not like ads like on YouTube. And basically, if you want to leave me a question or comment in audio form, you can do that. And I will respond. I will see it. And I will respond. And it's kind of cool. So it's a way you can talk to somebody, almost like having almost like a delayed phone call, for lack of a better. I only have one little short recording there right now because I just set it up today. But I plan to put some other content on there, and it'll be kind of cool. I think it also integrates with your Twitter account as well. So I think anytime I do an update to it, you should get a notification if you're following me on Twitter. But Anchor, check it out. It's kind of cool, and you'll probably find a lot of other stations and people you might want to interact with as well, which is always cool. At $5 per listing, 1,000 listing is only $5,000. I wouldn't do 1,000 listings for that. I see what you're saying, Tom. It's like if they all sold. Yeah, well, it's profit though. I mean, that's $5,000 profit for those 1,000 listings. So it's not. It would be a lot more revenue than that. It would be like 3-4 times the revenue. But yeah, I mean, it's all what you want to make on them. I mean, it's a scale question. And, what are you willing to make on them? If you're a clothing seller, yeah, you are going to find the one-offs here and there that you're going to make 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks on from time to time. Sure. I just don't know that you can find hundreds and hundreds of those items, much less thousands. And I know I can find hundreds and even thousands of pairs of jeans. That's where I'm at with that. And I think that I can actually, push up that listing total. And I'm not suggesting all my items would be that lower tier pricing. Far from it. I will still price with, or go after like my mid tier and my high tier. And of course, very high tier jeans. I really have 4 tiers. High, middle, low, and maybe economy, because I don't know what to call it below low, right? So that's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know what you guys think of that. Any feedback, I definitely appreciate it. But I think the only way to get there is to do that. Like, I just don't think I can find enough quality jeans that'll sell for like 25 with free shipping, or 30 or 35 with free shipping. I just don't think I can. Not in my area. Not for the price I'd pay. I mean, I guess I could, but I'd have to employ more people to do it. And I'm not ready to do that at this point. Like, I've tinkered with the whole idea of an employee now for like a year, and I just don't think I'm going to add enough value. I see my padded flat rate envelopes coming up the driveway in the post office person's. So you're about to hear the doorbell, probably. We'll see. Yeah, Luke is buying jeans here in Charlotte, and I need you all to go to Endless Entrepreneur's channel and tell him to stop at all costs. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'll be looking through solds, and I'll see one of Luke's backgrounds. Like, dang it, Luke got that one. Man, daggone, Luke shouldn't have told him anything about jeans. But no, he's got an awesome channel, guys. If you haven't checked out Endless Entrepreneurs, go check that out. So Luke pumps out a lot of great content, and he and I are business partners, and I dare say friends. Luke, how about you? So he's also apparently a decent basketball player. I don't know, something about winning something here he's posted lately. So good for him. That's cool. Takes not much more time to list an $80 suit than it does to list 20 pair of jeans. I agree, Thomas, but an $80 suit is going to sell slower. And I don't know if you're going to find as many of them. I mean, I can go to any store here in Charlotte and find 20, 25, even more pair of jeans with no problem, you know, that I know are going to sell. And yeah, they're going to take more time to list than the $80, but I can get a whole bunch of them. So I to find $80 suits to sell, well, I'm not a big suit guy, so I wouldn't know. Luke would probably be a better judge of that. But it would take me more time. Plus, I don't know the niche at this point. But it would take me more time to go through and find those. And they also cost more here. Not a lot more. They're like the blazer and jackets are like $7, I think, or $8. Luke would know. And then the whole suit is like $10. So it's basically the equivalent of 2 pair of jeans in terms of the cost. But obviously, you're making more on it. I don't know. It's whatever you want to do. Yeah, don't come to Charlotte. There's nothing good here. Luke's bought it all. So it's just terrible sourcing here. I don't recommend it for anybody, but anyway. All right. So Anchor, check that out. Sorry, we got off target there. So I'll show you a couple of the jeans we got yesterday. We went to South Carolina. We went to Columbia. We actually saw our friends Tiffany and James and spent a couple hours with them in the morning talking over some business and so on. And that was a lot of fun. We, you know, I love hearing about their business and seeing it in action. It was really cool. While we were there, she sold a $100 pair of shoes that she picked up for $6. I was like, man. But I'm going to show you what we picked up. We went to one thrift store and 2 Goodwills yesterday. It was the $1 day. There was not a lot of denim to be had that was great quality at the $1. But again, if I go to this different pricing like I'm talking about, I probably would have picked up 4 times as much as I did, maybe more. So we'll see. But anyway, a couple things we picked up. So the yellow tags were $1 buy cost. So $1 buy cost, guys, you know, there's a lot of jeans I would pick up. Clearly, all my brands are going to sell for 25 or 30 or $35. I would absolutely pick up. And then there would be others as well. But these are Lucky's. Nothing crazy here. These are Layla boot cut. Size 6, not a great size. But at $1, I mean, even if they sell at $20, I'm still making like $10 profit every bit of it. So can't go wrong with that. Wow, I'm struggling to get this folded back for some reason. All right, so we'll set those over there. Let's see. This was also a $1 yellow tag. Another pair of Luckies. These are the Sweet Jean, and they're crop. Size 6. Nothing crazy. But again, $20 without breaking a sweat on those. Maybe a little more even. Crops are always good. This one was not $1. This was $5.75. That's the price there. Diana says you could flip them for $2 at the flea market if they don't sell. Yeah, and that's a great point. You could go to a flea market and flip these jeans out for $2 or $3 and double or triple your money and not have to deal with fees and all that nonsense. These were $5.75, but these are Big Star, the Casey fit. I don't know that I've gotten the Casey before. This size is a 25 regular, so nothing special on the size. They're so light. Well, I guess they're still probably over a pound. So I was almost thinking they would go first class, which, by the way, when any of these jeans go first class, that reduces your shipping cost by like $2 minimum, sometimes more. And that's great because then you can, that's an extra $2 in your pocket. These were some cool, these were also $1 yellow tag. These are Joe's jeans. I love Joe's jeans. And they have a cool waistband inside. You can see. Like those little details like that, guys, those are things that buyers look for that aren't going to show up in the item specifics necessarily. And I don't even know that I would indicate it, but I'll definitely take a photo of that. The pockets are like that as well, as you can see. So little things like that are really good. These are skinny boot cut, size 28, but for $1. I mean, that's probably at least a $25 pair of jeans. So good return on investment on those. I think they might even be a long as well. They look really long. Oh, you know what? We missed something. Karin, is this me or you? We missed belt loops coming loose. No bueno. All right, so we missed something on these guys. This is where the $1 madness can get you. Look. See how that's barely hanging on? And this one is barely hanging on as well. It's got a rip there, you can see. No bueno. I will not be selling those. Maybe you could sell them at a yard sale or something. They technically are still functional. But I don't know that I'll sell them. Ouch, can you fix it? Not going to, Casey. What's up, man? But yeah, put some Bondo on it. You guys have great suggestions. Another $1. These are, I love this jean. These jeans sell pretty well, and they're kind of a little unknown. Not unknown, but maybe you don't think about them as much. And they are the Levi's 524 2 super lows. There's definitely a market out here for these. These are a size 7, so they come in junior sizes. Nothing fancy. Again, for $1, $20 to $25 buy price. We'll see. I'll probably start them out at 25. See if I can get that for them. Throw those over there. Sorry, I didn't quite make that throw. Let's see what else we got here. These were not $1, but this is another brand. It's not a little brand, but it's another brand that I think people forget about. These were $5.75. And this is cut from the cloth. The Catherine boyfriend, you can see there. And they look something like this. They also have some great distressing on the knees. And cut from the cloth is a great brand. These are expensive jeans new. So I would, I'm more apt to pick them up just in general, because I know that people want to find these jeans for a bargain. Nobody really wants to pay $100 for a pair of jeans, but we do. Karin got these. We don't normally buy this brand. This is Bandolino. They are not a great pre-owned selling brand. However, for $1, and these were new, they actually are, according to this, MSRP is $54. Whatever. So, new with tags, I don't know, 20, 25 bucks maybe. We'll see. Not sure. They're kind of cool feeling. They're kind of a different feel or fabric. I can't even describe it to you. It's got a little shimmy to it, a little shimmer. I don't even know what you call that exactly. But let's see. Somebody will want the jeans. I know. Let's see. We also have another $1 pair. Great brand, Page Premium Denim. So these are a size 25. I'm not sure the fit of these off the top of my head. You know what somebody really needs to do is come up with a cut and style number guide from all the manufacturers. But man, it would be, oh, you talk about a lot of data. Anyway, these Page Premium Denim, I think these are probably like a straight leg looking at them. Nice little pair of jeans. Page is a great brand. Definitely pick it up for $1 all day long. Don't even have to question that. It's not even a question. These were $5.75. Luke, this one's pairs for you if you're still in the chat. These are the Lucky Brand 181 Relax Straight. So you can see they're kind of a bigger pair of jeans. Dun, dun, dun. But Lucky Brand men's jeans do sell for a decent amount. I think off the top of my head, these are maybe will be priced around $30 with shipping or with free shipping. So good price for those. Also, another pair of Lucky Brand. These are just a boot cut. Where is the size on these? Oh, there it is. So this is a size 36, probably a 36, 32. I'll have to measure the inseam. So Lucky Brand men's, you can pay a little more for. Lucky Brand women's gets a little trickier sometimes. That you really need to check your comps. Sorry, got these. This is okay. So this store used green tags for their $1 clearance, and so this is another pair of this is a 524 2 super lows. I love these. I'll pick them up in any size at $1. Seriously, they're Levi. They will sell, and they're just an easy sale. I mean, they're not even, and they're usually not big sizes either, guys. They're usually like 3 or 5 or 7. They're usually, I usually don't find too many that are a bigger size in that 2 super low. Classic here. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, we watched, or did we mention watching Blue Gold the other day on Netflix? Karin, you're in the chat. I'm not even sure if we did. We watched the Netflix series Blue Gold on denim. And I can't remember if we checked it or not. Excellent documentary, guys. Really enjoyed it. The last 15 minutes of it were kind of but most of the video was fascinating about the history of denim and some of the things these people found and sold. Easy. I mean, Levi's were worth over $100,000. It was nuts. But fascinating history of denim and how it evolved, and you know, terminology and how people view the industry. And it was a good show. I enjoyed it. I definitely learned some things. I learned if I lived out west, I would be looking for more of these. So these are not Big E's, unfortunately, but they are 501s. I would have to look up this tag to tell you exactly how old they are. They're a size 38-30. They were $4.99, so a little more expensive, but 501s, guys, are just highly desirable jeans, especially ones that are a little bit older like this. I wish I was, you know, I do sell a lot of jeans, guys, but I'm not an expert on every pair for sure, and I'm not an expert to tell you how old these are either. But I can tell you they're a little bit older. I don't think they're like ancient, but we'll have to see if they're anything special. Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, yeah. What's up, 10K on the Bay? Another one of my favorite channels to watch. Chris Lynn's channel, 10K on the Bay. So you guys check that out. Have I found the Big E? No. Unbelievable, isn't it? I look all the time. I look at every freaking pair of Levi's I come across. Never found one. I think there's something. I think I'm being jinxed somehow. I don't even know. Oh, were the Levi's made in the USA? Oh, that's a great question, Mark. Nope, Egypt. So there you go. I know if they were made in the USA. Yeah. Okay. So another brand that I'll pick up every once in a while if it's cheap. $1, very cheap. These are just a pair of Hollisters. There's your little hint, guys. So when you see that particular butt design, you know it's Hollister's. I don't know if anybody else has one exactly like that. So anyway. CG Barnes says the Big E. Yeah, CG, these were like Levi's that were made like prior to 1971, and the E in the word Levi's is capitalized. That's why they call them the Big E, and they're very valuable. You know, even lower end ones can sell for a couple $100. But you know, they're not super common. I mean, obviously 1971 I think was the cutoff year. So there you go. Another great brand, one of my favorites, probably my favorite. Again, only not a great price, $5.75, but 7 for All Mankind, A pockets. Funny story on these. So this was at a Goodwill. The guy was ringing me up, and he was looking at the tag because he was ringing up men's jeans or women's jeans, although they were the same price. It didn't matter which one they were, but they're the same price. And he's looking at the tag, and he's looking at the tag, and I'm like, they're women's. And I don't know if he didn't hear me or what, but he sat there for a minute, and then finally he put in men's jeans, and I went, as you can see, the elusive A pocket for men's was 7fam apparently. But I don't know, I thought it was kind of funny. Jeans humor, jeans reseller humor. And then one more pair of jeans. Another $1 pair. And these are another pair of 524 2 super low. I'm telling you guys, this little fit in Levi's at that price is an easy sale. These are 7 short. I don't know if they're really a short though. That's interesting. I'll have to measure the inseam. They look a little longer, but we'll see. Anyway, nothing fancy. So that's about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 pair of jeans. Nothing crazy. We also found, I think these will sell for maybe about $30. These are the Body Shoe by Hush Puppy. They have this big kind of rubbery, interesting looking sole on them. It's kind of hard to describe. It's almost like a flip-flop sole. Actually, it looks very much like a sandal sole. These were $5, as you can see there. And I think they'll sell for around 30. So I picked them up. They are virtually new. I would literally say they may be new. So yeah. A pockets, Mark saying they don't sell as much. Yeah, they're not quite as much right now either. You know, jeans like that go through fluctuations, and you know, you'll have a season where they'll pop up in price 10 or 20%, and then they'll drop back down. So, but I would still pick up A pocket jeans for the most part. A pocket 7fams. The dojos are clearly the best, and the dojos have a big 7 on the back. There's different styles of the 7, but and they're a sharp looking jean. I mean, they are, and they're a great jean. Like 7fams are nice jeans. Like they wear well too. They're not even, you know, I wouldn't even say it's just like, oh, it's all hype. Nope, it's not hype. They're good jeans, as well as they're expensive new, as well as there's a great secondary market. That's what you want as a reseller, right, guys? So I don't know. I think I did well. You know, 14 pair. You know, theoretically around $150 worth of profit. I don't know. It was okay. I mean, nothing great. We really didn't spend a lot of time in these stores, and they really were kind of picked over. We hit them late in the day, which kind of stinks. Because with those, when you have a location that has like a $1 sale day, you really need to get there early. You need to get there first thing, at least to the first store, and even the second one, you'll get to it pretty early too. And that way you can have kind of the pick of the litter, so to speak. And we did get there. We did get there a little bit later. Never saw dojos. You've seen them. You've seen them. I promise you've seen them. They have a big 7 on the back of the pocket. You'll see them. They're great. I mean, they're like, you should just pick up dojos if you see them. I mean, unless they're just charging you something crazy. And ironically, though, they're a jean that a lot of times like a thrift store won't realize is expensive. So I don't really find that dojos end up that often in the love rack, on the love rack for Goodwill. So, you know, you did great on price. I never get jeans for $1. Yeah, it's just on Thursday. 10 Casey's, never seen them for $30. Oh, yeah, that's brutal if they're selling them. Well, that's what you get, Chris, for living in San Francisco. It's expensive. My friend, or Oakland, I can't remember which one you live in, but it's just expensive. I mean, you know, and I think a lot of stores sometimes when they're in those more expensive areas, they feel like they can just charge more and get it. And, you know, I don't know. Make lots out of those cheap brands is the best way out of them. Yeah, you're probably right, Diana. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a great, what about those sloth religion? Karen is having a little fun right now, and she's explaining, yeah, I don't know if I can show this to you guys very effectively on the YouTube here on the screen, but let me see if I can get to the part where So this was the screenshot. These were True Religions, and that was the inside of the pocket. Look closely. It's supposed to be a Buddha. And we were making fun of them and said, they really kind of look like polar bears. Not really sure what that is, but it's not a Buddha. Maybe it's like the character from that famous painting of The Scream. You know, the guy's going like this. It was just kind of funny, like some really fakey looking True Religions and Goodwill. And, you know, is it a polar bear? Is it a worm? Can't make heads or tail. I don't know what the heck that thing was. It was stamped all over it. And there was other things about the jeans that weren't right either. Jabba the Hutt, a snowman. People are coming up with great examples. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Yeah, they were totally fake, Mark. You're right. I obviously did not buy them. Don't buy fake jeans, guys, or fake anything. If you know it's fake, don't buy it. So, you know, but yeah, if you guys have questions too, type the word question or question mark in the chat. I'll try to answer. If you got questions about anything we just went over or anything different, I'll be glad to answer if I can. But yeah, it was a good day sourcing. I'm going to get those listed, I think, tonight. And we will, and hopefully get those up and running. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys think about like a low tier strategy for like jeans that are, you know, that sell. I would say most of them sell probably like in the $15 to $18 range with, and that includes shipping. So what is that without shipping? Maybe 10 to 12 or so, somewhere in there with shipping. I don't know what you guys think about it. I really would like to get some more listings up and just keep profit coming in. And if I can do it in a way that makes sense to still list them, you know, I'll do it. I'm going to get the lower tier ones. Kelly likes the quick nickel. Yeah, I get that, Kelly. It's just clothes like commodities, like jeans are, they kind of, you're right. Like they suit themselves for the quick nickel, you know, a faster flip, but you've got to have the processes and manpower and systems in place to handle it. And, you know, it's going to blow up my inventory. You know, if all of a sudden I put in here another 200 or 300 pair of like $1 and $2 pair of jeans that I paid for them, you know, I don't know where I'm going to put them, but I'll figure out something, I guess. But it's definitely going to blow up my inventory a little bit. CG says, I don't include free shipping because I do a best offer. Chris Slim was here in the chat earlier, and he and I have talked about this before. I don't know that best offer is as valuable below a certain price point. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I kind of tend to think anything below $25 with best offer. I mean, people are obviously going to lowball you to start with when you do best offer, unless you set in auto declines. But I don't know. I mean, like if you've got an item listed for $19.99 and you have best, and let's say it's free shipping, and you have best offer on it, like what can they really offer you would take? You know, you're not going to take $10. That doesn't really make sense. And that's probably what they're going to offer. They're going to start somewhere around there, $10 or $12 the most. So I just don't know at the lower tiers, it makes a lot of sense to do best offer, but I'm open to having my mind changed on that. I don't know what you guys think about it. Kelly's tired of lowball offers. Well, you can always set the auto decline, Kelly, on them, all of them. You could even put that in your template and say, hey, for jeans, I'm going to auto decline any offer below X number of dollars. And that'll be my template. So it automatically fills in every time you create a jean listing or whatever it is you're doing. I don't know. I mean, I go back and forth on this stuff, guys. And the problem is like nobody really knows for sure, other than eBay, what's sort of the best combination of best offer, no best offer, free shipping, calculated shipping, run a sale, don't run a sale, you know, have a store, don't have a store. Like nobody really knows, but eBay. So, and they're not talking. Chris says $19.99 plus shipping seems cheaper than $24.99 shipped. Yeah, it does. And because anybody who's looking for $20 and under is going to find you. But I don't know that people shop jeans based on price. Let me clarify that before somebody goes, of course they shop on price, Prof. What are you talking about? I just don't know that that's the first determining factor they look at. I don't know that a lot of people would necessarily get on eBay and say, hey, I want to buy a pair of $20 jeans or cheaper. There are some people who would do that, but I think it's more that people would say, I like this. I need some new jeans. I like this brand, and these are my sizes. And then they start looking at price. So if your price is say $19.99, so that they're looking for under $20 jeans, they would find you. I don't know if it really matters. I don't know if they would really find you because of that. Maybe. I mean, I'm open. Again, I'm open to that. So we'll see. I don't like auto decline because I sell a lot of multi-quantity. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Kelly. If you do that, auto decline probably doesn't make sense for you, but you're gonna have to deal with some low ball offers, you know? So I don't know. I don't know. How important is the fast and free? The fast and the furious? I don't know, Kelly. I don't know. I wish I knew because I would just do what worked the best if I did, but I don't know the answer to it. And I don't think anybody's got enough data behind their sales to really tell us. Nobody's got a big enough sample size to really be that meaningful. You know, people say, oh, I changed it this month and my sales changed. They might have changed anyway. You don't know if that's what did it necessarily. That's a problem. You can't prove causality with a lot of this stuff very easily. So you end up just kind of going off of your gut a lot of times with some of this stuff on what's going to tweak, you know, your listings the best or sell through the best. When did you start free shipping? The last month or so, Abraham, on jeans. I did some different tier. I'm doing some different tier pricing, not shoes. No. I like doing best offer on even lower price items. It's been helping me get a look at buyers' feedback, and I've weeded out some scammers. Well, sure. Jason, would you ever consider categorizing your store by size? I have, Chris. I think that's a decent idea, and I just need to take the time to sit down and do it because I'd have to go back and do it for all the ones I have. Obviously, I think that's probably a good idea. Honestly, I could do it by brand, but it's probably better by size. Well, that's a great question. Would it be better if you're selling mainly jeans to categorize your store by size or by brand? There's an interesting question for you to all ponder, and I'm not sure. Interesting. eBay claims 10% more if you list fast and free, but we don't believe it. Who knows? Who knows, Mark? Don't know. If they're an eBay buyer only, the $19.99 plus shipping may look better. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. You know, it just, people can put free shipping though and search by that and just search everything on eBay that way. So it's 43% important. Chris has put a number on it. Are you sure it's 43 or was it 43.2? I thought it was 43.2, Chris. Now some people are going to go, what are they talking about? I tried both and found plus shipping. My sell through is higher. Plus I make more when I run sales. See, and I've been charging shipping now for like a year, and I feel like my sales in the last few months dropped off more than they should have. I knew they were going to drop off. Is BKE Rail 22 a men's brand or women's? You'd have to show us the jean, Alfred, but I think that's a women's fit. The Rail, if I'm not mistaken, but without seeing it, it's a little tricky to know. Are you going to try the new eBay guaranteed delivery deal? Oh, yes. I'm glad you brought that up. Very sneaky. Already did. I did already sign for that, and I'm doing the handling time because I was already doing one-day handling, so why not? So that's, you know, this idea that you will get, eBay will guarantee the delivery date once you process within the time you've agreed to process within. I don't think it's a big change for me personally. and they will eat the shipping. They will eat the shipping cost for the return if it doesn't deliver in that time the person wants to return it. But I think eBay is betting not a lot of people will return it. Like if it shows up a day late, are that many people really going to return the item? I just don't think it's a big number, and that's probably what eBay knows. So they lose very little by doing it, and it looks great. It's one of those things that looks good, so why not do it? I'm gonna show a couple quick questions here, guys, that I've had, and just want to share these with you guys. And we'll go through these just on recent videos and so on. So if you have questions, leave them down below. You might get your question seen on the show. You never know. Little to you. So this comment comes from Sarah Kovalents, and she is talking about the video I did on breaking the law on eBay. Ugh, I didn't want to watch this, but I'm glad I did. Thanks for putting this out there. I also shared it. I kind of pride myself on being an ethical seller, so this disappoints me, but it's true. Anytime you run a business, big or small, you're still subject to the same rules. That's why so many small businesses fail. The problem is the little guy doesn't have the loopholes big guys do. Ugh, okay, getting off my soapbox, even though it stinks, knowledge is power. Yes, thank you for your comment, Sarah. I do appreciate it. You're right. Larger sellers do sometimes get benefits we don't, but they've kind of paid their dues, and they've greased the right palms sometimes, and they've paid their dues, so to speak, and gotten they made that transition from small to bigger, so they have more influence. But I look at it like you can still be ethical whether you're a small, medium, big seller. Like ethics and character have nothing to do with your status in life, your income status, or anything like that. And so that's just how I choose to do it. Let's see. The second comment. This one comes to us from Drew. And Drew is talking about the invest in your eBay business, which was right here. He said, why pay taxes? Keep track of everything. Food, gas, phone, portion of your house, where you list or ship, write it all off until the IRS thinks you aren't really making anything. Well, Drew, I echo your sentiment, and I thank you for your question. I would not advocate doing anything that's against the law or will get you in trouble with the IRS or your state tax agency or anything like that. I don't like paying taxes any more than the next person, I guess, but I recognize they're a necessary evil, I guess, in the world, unfortunately. So you got to do things to lower them as much as possible and just make sure that you take advantage of the law as long as you are doing it in a legal and ethical way. All right, so last question is from Less Than 40. And she writes in and says, this is on also the Invest Your eBay business. Oh, I'm thrilled to hear about the rehab video. I've been selling in eBay for about 5 weeks and just opened my store yesterday. Your videos are at the top of the list. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate your input and ideas. The whole business plan thing is new to me, and I'd love to hear more about options and how to choose what's best for you. Again, much appreciated. Well, thank you for that comment, Less Than 40. And I have said many times on this show that in terms of a business model, I think learning a niche or two at the beginning is the best way to build your eBay business. You always can go wider in the future, but if you start out really wide and trying to sell kind of all the thingies, as Karen likes to say, you have a difficult time. You're going to spend an awful lot of time looking things up and kind of chasing, your tail in circles sometimes because you're not really going to understand what you're looking at, or the sales of it aren't going to make sense to you because you're not knowledgeable in it. I think it makes more sense to look for a niche or two that is something that you can source in your area or in your part of the country. You can go and find those items and find them readily available, replenished, and cheap enough that they make sense to sell, and just become experts on them, or at least not experts, but become very knowledgeable about them, and then take that knowledge and just apply it over and over. And you always can expand your niches out, or even discard this niche and go into this one. I mean, you can always do that. You don't have to always stay niched down, but I think starting with a niche or two is the best way to get started in your eBay business. Other people have a different opinion, but you just can't be an expert on everything. So it's better to be really good on a couple things. It's kind of like the 80-20 rule. Like you're gonna get 80% of your results from 20% of your efforts. I think I said that right. 20% of the things you really focus on. So I like finding that 20% and just really going after that. And the rest can be every once in a while, one-offs. But, you know, you really, I think, get more value when you approach it from a couple niches. Let's see here. A couple more things. Chris thinks that selling just one thing is more often better than all the thingies as well. Yeah, I mean, you know, and it's not to say you only have to sell one thing or one niche forever, but you got to be able to become a little bit more of an expert in an area, I think, because here's what you gain by that. When you walk into a store, a yard sale or estate sale or wherever you're going, thrift, whatever, you now have all this knowledge up here instead of relying on all it here. And you're going to be able to go in and make much quicker buying decisions and better decisions because you've already discarded a lot of things that you know aren't really worth it. And then if something looks like it could be, but you're not sure, but it's sort of in your niche, you've got probably a good eye at being able to look it up and find out if it is, instead of going through and looking up every single thing. Like that's really time consuming and just will burn you out, I think, in a lot of cases. So I think it's better to pick a couple niches and go after those for a while and see if they make sense given, you know, what you have around you. Yeah, so 60-day returns people are talking about. I've been changing everything to 60-day returns, guys. I've actually noticed my returns go down. They've dropped like 1%. Is it because of that? I don't know if it is or not. It might just be the time of the year, whatever. Who knows, some other reason. But I don't think that, I was talking with Tiffany about this yesterday. I feel like people who are going to return something and return it pretty early on, usually within a week of receiving it, if they're going to return it. It's rare that it just sits there for days and days and weeks, and then all of a sudden they return it. I mean, it does happen. But most of the time people who want to return it are, you know, they want to return it and they're going to do it right away. So, you know, toy around with the 60-day return window at your leisure. Michelle says you can't look up shoes at the bins because they'll be gone when you look up from your screen. That is true. Little tip there, Michelle. If you're going to look something up, have it in your hand. So, or in your cart at least, and you can always put it back if you decide you don't want it. But I wouldn't look it up when it's just sitting there on the shelf. Someone could grab it right out from under you. And again, if they grab it, they're either doing what I just said, they're putting it in their cart or in their hands so they can look up, or they already know that it's good and they're going to, you know, go forward with it. So I do that with jeans. Like I make sure if I do have to look something up on jeans or shoes, I have it in my hand, even if I got it down beside me while I got the phone up here, just so that way nobody can take it from me. Because it does happen. It does happen quite a bit. The shoe mafia. People get crazy at the bins about shoes. Shoes is the one where they have to give people a lot of instructions at the bins, like wait till we're done, no pushing or shoving, you can only get 3 pair at a time, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Chris, that was just gross. I'm not going to repeat that, what Chris just said, but it was kind of funny and ridiculous all at the same time. So thanks for that, Chris. Thanks for adding to the chat. Oh, you guys are killing me. All right, well, listen, I am without Karin this weekend, so I'm going to get some work done and be productive. I don't know what you're going to do, but I hope you're going to do the same thing because there's really no excuse not to. So my task for you is to do something to improve your business in the next 48 hours, 72 hours. So get it done. What are you waiting for? There is no perfect time. There's just right now. Yesterday's gone. You're not promised tomorrow. There's just right now. So let's get it done, people. Let's improve our businesses this weekend. Run a sale, find some different items, learn more about your niche, get some things listed, take some photos. I don't know, whatever you need to do to get it done and make your business better. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you have an awesome weekend. Maybe you'll see me on this weekend with a special show. Who knows? But hit the subscribe button down below. And if you're a first-time viewer, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and hear your feedback on the show. And please, can you hit the like button? Karin's not here to plead and beg for it, but I do appreciate it. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. I really do appreciate it, guys. So I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Karin should be here. And this is Prof Sales saying good sales to you.